Okay, so whenever I have everything lined up, the little brackets underneath they're further this way. So basically what I did is I just put the washers that I have in, and I just marked the middle of that. That way I know it'll be within the limits of the washer. So hopefully, I mean, it's not 100% right or accurate anyways, but it should be close enough, and then it'll flex, so that way I might have to flex it to actually bolt it down, and then once it gets bolted, it'll kind of form to that shape, and then over time, it'll take that mold and be there for good. But yeah, so I'm gonna drill this out, and hopefully we can get it lined up. All right, so it's mounted. Unfortunately, like it's too high. So, but I can change this piece and actually bring it up just a little bit. So I think that's what I'll do. And yeah, 'cause I mean, it's got a sizable gap. Pretty much everywhere. So I'll raise this up and then it'll be good. But, so my other one, I mean, it would flex a whole bunch whenever I would do this. But this one, I mean, this one feels really, really good. So, and the reason why I wanted to do, I think I've explained it before, but my other nose is cracked in all sorts of places, and it also has like 5 layers of paint on it, so it's super heavy. So I'm like 70 pounds overweight, even with the aluminum floor and all the other stuff that you can get to make these cars light. So being able to do this will make it to where I can actually achieve target weight or the minimum weight, and I can also, of course, you know, have a cool looking car with a fresh body that doesn't have any cracks and is 100% dialed. And so putting this body on has probably been one of the most infuriating things that I've ever had to do. I mean, really, it's not that bad, but I kept messing up, so it just, and I don't like to mess up, so yeah, it just kind of humbled me, I guess you would say. So I'll take this off real quick, and you'll see why I'm so mad at this thing. 3 different holes that I've had to drill in order to line this thing up properly. The first time I got it all set up, but the body, like these lines were too high, so it exposed this whole section right here. I mean, there was probably like an inch worth of a gap underneath here, like you could see under into the car or into the seating area. So then I had to, you know, push it down. I finally got that situated, and then the way it was sitting, whenever I got that situated, when I put the nose on, the nose wouldn't actually fit because this section right here was pushed forward. So then I had to undo everything and push it back so that it would fit, and blah, 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 blah. But we've got it now. I think the only thing that I have left to do is to ream these out. That way this whole bolt will fit into the body. And this stuff, so I'll mark which hole is going to be the right one, and then whenever it goes to paint, we'll just fill these spots in with some Bondo and some fiberglass, and it'll be fine. It's just annoying. It's just more work that we'll have to do in the end. So, and like I said, I don't like to mess up, so it's just clear evidence of how bad I was doing. Yeah, and we also fixed, so I didn't actually have to raise the body at all, and you can tell like it's totally flat. What I was able to do is I was able to, the actual mounting points on the chassis weren't even. So once I actually evened them out, it spread it out enough to where whenever I mount the nose, it'll flatten it out, and it'll also spread it out to where this lowers. So with it mounted in, it actually lowered everything, and now it's a perfectly flush fit. And I mean, it looks really good. So all this stuff is done. I have to, like I said, I have to ream out that little hole back there for the suspension arm, and then I have one more Zeus fastener that'll go right here, which those have already been drilled. So I'll just have to ream that out enough for the Zeus fastener to fit. And then I still have to buy a new engine cover, because like I said, I'm not going to use this one, because whenever you mount this, Unfortunately, this section right here isn't long enough, so it exposes all of this. So I need to get the corresponding engine cover that goes with this. Whoever manufactured this, I need to get the corresponding one. That way, this seam right here will match up and be right. So yeah, and I don't know if I had mentioned or not, but I had a clutch issue, and I figured out the issue. It was whenever I replaced the slave cylinder, they double washered the crush washer on this, so there was 3 crush washers total, and I'm not really sure why. It might have been on the other slave cylinder. The threads might not have been deep enough for the banjo to go all the way through, so what they did to shorten the banjo was just to add an extra crush washer. But as the engine would heat up, it would expose, because like it wasn't like 100% tight or sealed. So as it would heat up, that seal would be exposed, and then it would start getting air in the system, and then you have air in the system, obviously the clutch isn't going to work. So got rid of that 3rd crush washer. I checked it, and there's no, like, you could actually put your finger on the back of this and there'd be fluid on your finger. So so yeah, no more of that. That's all good. So that should be good. And I did find all the parts that I need for the transmission, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy those parts, put that stuff together, and then the car should be good. Look at what we have done. Oh my gosh, this took freaking forever, and it was so aggravating. Hey, come on, chill out. See, they're even aggravated. But golly, this took forever. But finally got it completely done. So I was not able to buy the rear cover, mostly due to financial issues and timing. And unfortunately, we do have this crack right here. But the guy that's painting this, he's good with fiberglass, so he can fix all that. And honestly, I wanted to get a new one that way, because I don't know how much paint is on this, so the weight is going to be the issue. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to swap out the body, because I'm 50 pounds overweight, and the old bodywork has like 4 or 5 coats of paint on it. So trying to shed some weight so we can actually make the minimum weight. That way, I mean, we have the most, like the fastest car, the most competitive car. So, but yeah, everything's done. I bought all the new end plates for the front wing and the rear wing are all new. All the mounting hardware is all new. I had to drill out that guy right there and install a captive nut. That way we can adjust the front wing. On my old setup, I could only get about 8 degrees, which at some tracks you want to get, I think it stalls at 12 degrees, and at short tracks you want to run around 10 degrees. So I was at a disadvantage there. So I could only run around 8. So now I can run up to 12, front and rear, and get the most out of the aero for the short tracks. And yeah, I mean, everything else kind of fell into place once I was able to get this guy to line up, because like nothing on the tubing side of the actual chassis was square. So anytime, well, it might not be that it's not square, but maybe it's the actual pieces just aren't a mirror image. So like, because whenever I would line the body up, you know, in reference to the suspension parts, it wouldn't be squared. So it was kind of goofy, but I finally got it. And like, I mean, so I would square this off and get this right, but then I put the nose on, and the nose would be, you know, 2 inches to the right, or vice versa, or something silly. But now I've got it all lined up. It's not perfect, as you can see right here, how this kind of follows this right here, and then over here it's way over. I mean, it's like a finger width gap. And that's just the kind of nonsense that I've been dealing with. But for the most part, it's all pretty good. You can see the end plate is just over halfway on the tire, and then likewise over here. So in reference to the aero, how it's going to go over the car with, you know, on the tires and all that stuff, I think it's all pretty dialed. So yeah, and I mean the aero on this is rudimentary at best. So I mean, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. But I just wanted to make sure that I could do the best job that I could to yeah, make it as good as I can. Obviously, I'm not here just to do this for fun. Like, I want to do this for real and try and be competitive and whatnot. So I mean, I'm not trying to half-ass it. But yeah, as you can see, new end plates. I'm about to order a new transmission. This is just mocked up that way the guys can paint it. But yeah, this is the whole thing ready to go. I'm fixing to load it on the trailer and go drop it off at the paint shop. And luckily the paint shop's literally 5 minutes down the road, so it's super convenient. So yeah, I have installed the front screens, but I'll be taking these out whenever they paint them, and then whenever I get it back, I'll reinstall the front screen and then install the rear screen. Those are actually pretty easy to install. And on my old side pods, I actually had some cutouts in the back here just to let some air go through. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again. I'm not really sure the proper way to do that, because with it closed off, it seems like it might introduce a little more drag. So it might be beneficial to open it up as much as possible, or maybe you don't want to open it up and try and force it to come out here, which would actually create a low pressure area and give you a little more downforce. I'm not sure. I'm not super knowledgeable on aerodynamics, so I don't really know the best part. That side over there is it's already cut out for the exhaust, but you can see this side, the whole thing is capped off. And on my other one, it had like some 2 to 3 inch holes just drilled just in random spots. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But I'll figure that out after it's painted. And yeah, it should take about a week. I'm really hoping that I can be done, or the car will be done within the week, and then I can get the transmission installed, probably install a new clutch when I do the transmission. I'm not really sure if the rotaries, I'm sure they have like a rear main seal or something, so I'll look at that and see if that needs to be done. And then if I can get the car mechanically, like if I can get it ready to go, I'm really gonna try to go to the June, I mean, it's a super tour at Road Atlanta, or not Road Atlanta, but Road America. It's not like one of my favorite tracks. I wish it was like Road Atlanta or something, but it's a super tour. It's only 10 hours away, only 10 hours. But I mean, there's nothing else going on. I could do like a Hallett race or something, but honestly, like if I'm spending all the money on the car to do all this, I want to go and compete with the best and actually race against, you know, other Formula Mazdas, or at least other FX cars. If I go to the common races at Hallett, then I mean, there's like one other Formula Mazda there. And it's a track I've already run before. It has nothing to do with SCCA, so I don't get any SCCA points. And it's like there's very little to learn. So I mean, it would really just be like a shakedown race to make sure the car is good. But I don't really want to spend all the money to just do a shakedown. So I'm really going to shoot for Road America and hope that we can go do well. These tires, they only have I think like 3 sessions on them, so I won't have to buy any tires or anything. I just got to get the transmission, make sure the driveline's good, and then I should be ready to party. So yeah, I'm gonna get this thing loaded up, and then once she's back from paint, I'll take another video and show you guys how she looks. I'm not gonna tell you the colors, it's a secret. It's painting time. Nose is off, trailer's set. Now watch as I push this thing. It's actually really easy to push, but I want to push this thing in here by myself. And we'll have a great time doing so.